This could have been one of the greatest sleepers of all time. Keyword, could have. Ladies and gentlemen, this is before you buy a third gen Ford Taurus SHO V8. The third gen V8 SHO was an absolute monster of a car. This car had racing and rally in its freaking DNA. It was the front wheel drive king back in its day, eating Mustangs for breakfast without batting an eye. But just like the mighty Achilles, it had one fatal flaw that would bring this immortal to its knees. But before we get into that, I feel it's my God-given duty to bring forth the insane amount of work that came into turning this granny grocery getter into the Mustang killer it was. You see, the third gen SHO was developed by SVT, the same team, might I add, that worked on the Mustang Cobra of the same year. Literally built side by side, but wait, it gets better. Now this part requires your undivided attention because I'm about to go all Rick and Morty on your asses. All right, so the 3.4 liter V8 SHO engine actually kept some of the same components from the previous V6 models, like aluminum cylinder heads and a 4 valves per cylinder double overhead cam design. But it differed a little bit because this one had an all aluminum rather than an iron block like the previous SHOs. Also, a chain was used to time the camshafts to the crankshaft instead of the belts that SHO V6s used back in the day. And get this, manufacturing was also a shared process. Ford actually manufactured the aluminum engine blocks using a patented Cosworth process. Yes, this Cosworth. And then just to put the cherry on top, the icing on the cake, the engine was then shipped to freaking Japan to be worked on by Yamaha. Okay, so for those of you with the attention span of a goldfish, we're going to recap. We have an SVT designed, Cosworth built, Yamaha tuned freaking Taurus. The V8 SHO put out 240 horsepower. But all that awesomeness came with a price. You see, the V8 SHO was way ahead of its time, unlike the previous V6 SHO. The V8's valve train was an interference design, one that is actually shared by many engines that are built today. Now, what that means is that the piston will collide with the valves if the camshaft or timing chain fails. Caused by some cam sprocket failures, the engine got a reputation for having catastrophic failures. And all this was caused by the damn cam sprocket, which would break loose from the camshaft and spin independently from the camshaft. There was technically two solutions for this problem. The first was by actually welding the cam sprocket to the camshaft, which proved to be pretty damn effective. But check out option number two. Here's option number two. Okay, it was you actually take the car to a Ford dealership because the problem was so common and so bad that Ford ended up putting a freaking recall on it. So they would technically fix it for free, except instead of welding it, no. Ford, a multi-billion-dollar freaking car company, used Loctite. Yes, you heard that right. They essentially used the car equivalent of crazy glue. In a world filled with fewer and fewer sleepers being made, the V8 Taurus SHO is Sleeping Beauty. However, she only awakes from her slumber for only the most experienced mechanics. This car is not for beginners.